Missed your favourite show? Don't panic. We have a comprehensive listen again service on mixcloud.com. Just search for Spectrum On Air. We also have our own YouTube channel where we keep our outside broadcast videos and specialist shows. Just go to YouTube and search for, well, you know by now. So that's it, a comprehensive rundown of the many ways to listen and watch your favourite internet radio station. Spectrum On Air. The colourful... You are listening to Spectrum On Air. The colourful voice of radio.
All new shows to listen to on Spectrum On Air. Reggae. Ooh, yeah. Rock and roll jukebox.
Well, it's one for the money, two for the show, three to get ready. Now go cat on, but don't you step on my blue.
A country go. All new shows on Spectrum On Air. Visit our website on spectrumonair.com or listen on Mixcloud Live.
Don't forget, you can listen to this radio station on the Get Me Radio platform. Download the Get Me Radio app and listen on your Android or Apple mobile phone, and a whole range of TV apps such as Roku, Fire, Android, and Apple TV. You can also listen on Alexa and Google Home devices. Just search for Get Me Radio. Download the apps and listen to this radio station on your favourite devices.
Whatever you do, keep the weekend of May 10th and 11th free for the Sham Festival. Tribute bands galore and food aplenty. Have a drink at the gig bar and rub shoulders with the artists. And did I mention discounted tickets just for you, dear listener? What are you waiting for? Come over to spectrumonair.com, find out more, and get your discounted tickets. Spectrum On Air, the Shamrocks Festival voice of radio. Having trouble advertising your act? Need more exposure without breaking the bank? Here at CJC Promotions, we believe that teamwork, bonding, and having fun go hand in hand with promoting your work. We believe in artists getting the exposure they deserve without experiencing the stressful side of social media and advertising. With contacts worldwide, covering a multidisciplined media environment, we can target your talent so you gain the experience without the consequence of wasted time in unproductive ventures. So, if you're serious about getting your talent out there, just contact Catherine at cjcpromotions.co.uk. That's Catherine at cjcpromotions.co.uk. And remember, our aim is to nurture your talent, not exploit it.
You are listening to Spectrum On Air, the colourful voice of radio.
And welcome to the Road to Shamrock 2025. And if it's the first time you've listened to us, the Road to Shamrock 2025 is a festival that is coming up in May. And we're going to be talking to one of the entertainers going to be there, part of the band. Shamrock 2025 is a two-day festival that will be having different bands, and we're going to have Tony talking about his tribute acts to different other groups. It's a lot of fun. You want to check it out? Check it out on Shamrock 2025. Use any browsing device you want to. I don't care if it's Bing, Epstein, Google, whatever. We'll talk more about the festival, but right now we're more interested in talking to Tony. So Tony, your name is and the band is?
Hi, I'm Tony. I'm part of the 45s. We're a rock covers band, I'd say. We cover pretty much everything you can think of, everything from Elvis up to Black Sabbath and Green Day and everything in between. And we are bringing to Shamrocks a tribute to Britpop, which we are unbelievably excited about because it's our era. I'm of an age where that is me, basically, and a few of the other guys.
Hey, don't say that because it's like I was listening to the Rolling Stones, and I've grown up with them. And my son said to me not too long ago, Mom, have you ever heard of this new band? It's called the Rolling Stones. Like, yeah, okay. So what goes around comes around.
Well, in my head, whenever we play live, if we play the Beatles and the Rolling Stones that we do, and quite often I'll sit on stage and go, let's do some old stuff. And in my head, that's the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. And when I'm doing the new stuff, that's the 90s stuff. And then I kind of realise it's 2025, and there's whole people watching us who weren't even born when Blur and Oasis and all those kinds of people were doing this stuff. But to me, that's still the modern stuff. I'm a bit stuck in the 90s for that, unfortunately.
We want anybody your age, just say you listened to it when you were a babe in arms.
Yeah.
How many people are in your band?
So there's 5 of us, which is quite good because it means we can create quite a big sound. So we've got Dow on the drums and Martin on the bass, which basically keep the whole sound moving. They're absolutely brilliant. As far as I'm concerned, they're the best rhythm section in the business. Without that foundation, you can't really operate as a band because everything over the top of them is the twiddly, arty stuff. So, and luckily we've got 2 unbelievably good lead guitarists. So Marty plays lead and Rich plays lead, and they sort of swap between the lead and the rhythm guitar. And 3 of them also sing backing vocals, which reminds me we've got 4 vocals going on.
And then, role? Are you drummer, play guitar, singer, little bit of everything?
So I get to stand at the front and sing. I play a little bit of acoustic guitar. I play some strings off the pad as well. So I'm kind of juggling a few balls as we go. But yeah, so we're basically singing 2 guitars, bass, drums. And it creates a big old sound. And we're a good bunch. And we've got Carly that looks after our sound for us. So we've got a front house sound engineer, which is just invaluable when you're playing live. To have somebody out front to be able to sit there and change all the levels and get everything right to make sure you sound okay. Because you've got no idea what you sound like on stage. You could, we're not hearing what the crowd are hearing. So, without her, we'd be in a bit of trouble. So she's invaluable and probably works harder than the rest of us, to be honest, because we're on stage having fun. While she's trying to keep everything together at the front.
Now, besides playing at festivals like you are at Sham Rocks, what else do you do? Is this, this is the beginning of festival season. Do you play in pubs? Where are you, where do you play?
So we do about, we normally do about 68 gigs a year, which is, even for a couple, for a covers band, there's a lot of gigs. We sort of struggle to fit everybody in. We try and get as much in as we can, but we tend to spend most of the winter months in pubs and clubs, which is great because we get nice long 2.5 hour sets and we can plough through 30 odd songs, which is great fun. But then, like I say, we get into sort of festival season, and I think June, July, August we don't set foot in a pub. And I think then it becomes weddings and parties and festivals and sport and events. We're doing a comedy night that we're supplying the music for with Dave Benson Phillips, which again you've got to be non-East to know that reference. We do the cricket ground Hampshire cricket, so we do the entertainment, the after match entertainment at Hampshire Cricket Club. We're doing that again this summer. We did that last summer. That's great fun. But it's the big stages and the festivals we love. Last we did. I'll do that one. So, and then we try and tie them up. So, if somebody wants that weekend off and someone wants the weekend off afterwards, we go, can you both have the same weekend off? And then that normally happens. We've got, there's 3, we've got, I think 3 weeks without a gig this year. Marty, our guitarist, is off to America, which you'll appreciate. For a good 3 weeks, I think. So I don't know what we're going to do. It's never happened before. We got a whole, I think it's 3 weekends, end of October, start of November, without a gig. We might even have to have a practice, I think, when he comes back. We'll all forget what we're doing.
Well, that's what I'm going to ask you. Do you have anybody that can, substitute if you, that, like a friend, you say, dust off the guitar, can you work with us this weekend or something like that?
We have done in the past. So we've had past members. So we had another guitarist in before, Rich, who played at probably 50 odd gigs we played, maybe 40, 30, I can't remember. He's great lad. He came out and did a couple for us when Rich wasn't around. But the thing is, we kind of evolved so much and we've got such a huge set that we tend not to get anybody else in because it would end up it wouldn't be as good because there's a lot of working parts in the band and everybody is vital. So. Yeah. We don't like. I don't think we particularly like to go out with somebody else in there because we wouldn't be as good.
Well together. Let's put it that way. Yeah. Know each other's ins and outs, the strengths, and how to work together.
Yeah. Basically, no one's allowed to be ill is the rule. Unless you're dead, you're turning up. So the start of the year, everybody was ill. At the start of the year, we turned up to a few venues in January with people sort of propping themselves up the broomstick up their back because they weren't particularly well. But we're on our booking. As long as we're not dead, we'll be there.
If you're dead, you'll just play the funeral, right?
It'll be another gig. It'll be fun.
You talk about there's such a wide range of music that you play. Elton John, the Beatles, like you were saying, and Blur, and all kinds of different ones. Stereophonics, I don't even know who they are. Keep in mind, I'm not a Brit, so some of these are relatively new to me. What is your favorite band?
That's a tough one. I think we spoke on off air a little bit, but there's a weird thing when you're in a cover. Is I think if you covers list. Trying to get 5 people to agree 32 songs is an impossibility. And equally, I think if every single one of us wrote a set list containing our favourite songs, you wouldn't be able to make a set list. because we've all got the stuff we love. I mean, I love Pink Floyd. Luckily, we can sneak a couple of those in. I like some more obscure bands, people like Eels and Mercury Rev. Nick Cave, I love. But ultimately, there's always those things from your formative years that you kind of grew up with, you love. And I got really lucky. I started college. I was sort of turned 16 and started college in 1994, which was the absolute height of Britpop. So when I kind of got let out into the world of pubs and clubs and going out with friends and all that kind of thing, it was everywhere. And it's only when you look back now and you realise how lucky you were, because it turns out that's not normal. It wasn't normal to have that much guitar music in general life, or just the sort of the soundtrack to a whole nation being guitar music. It hadn't happened since probably the 70s, or the first time round in the 60s. 80s was a lot of synth music. We dripped into the 2000s with a bit of indie, but since probably 2005ish upwards, again, everybody threw their guitars in the bin, and you can't find you can't find a guitar band around now that's getting any significant airplay or anything like that. But we got really lucky at being that age, when it was just guitar music was everywhere. It was wonderful.
When did you start your band? Was it basically the same 5 people when you started it, whenever, or has people come out, and then this is now like your core people in your band?
Well, so we started probably, I'd say, about 3.5, 4 years ago, and I think pretty much since the second gig. The only 2 constants are me and Marty. So the first thing, one of our guitarists left, so Rich took over, and Rich enabled us to expand what we could do. He's one of those weird people that has just got an absolute musical brain. So he can hear a song, he knows what key it's in. He doesn't even have to. He can just hear music. So he knows when things are out. He's really, really good for that, and he can play really complicated stuff. So we can do things like Comfortably Numb by Pink Floyd, and he can just nail the guitar solo. If we put a new song in and there's a solo in it, he'll listen to it the night before and he'll have it the next day. So he was a wonderful addition. He also has most of the backing vocals as well, which is very, very helpful.
And because the festival, the Sham Festival, is going to be May 10th and 11th.
Yeah.
And when are you going to be on stage? When are you
so we're on Saturday the 10th. And I think that the headline is Queen, which I do love a bit of Queen. We try of. We do Crazy Little Thing called Love by Queen, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Now, if people wanted to get, how could we get in touch with the 45s?
You can go to, most of our stuff's done through Facebook, which is the 45s Rock Covers. You can find us with the ones with the big round gold logo. There's a few bands out there called the 45s. We often get mistaken. Every now and then we'll get an email, someone wanting to book us in Bristol, and we realise that there's another covers band called the 45s in Bristol, and I have to go back and go, are you sure it's not these you want? So that happens very occasionally. But yeah, you go the 45s Rock Covers, big gold logo, that's us. www.the45srockband.co.uk, that will get us. You can find, there's a WhatsApp number on there, there's email on there, you can direct message us. We get quite a few messages every week for various different things. But we always reply. We always come back to it. We always apologise if we're already booked, which is unfortunately the case. But give us a try. Sometimes I can, if it's something cool and it's something interesting, sometimes I can even talk the lads into it. That's happened on more than one occasion where I've talked them into something where we weren't meant to have a gig that day, and I've managed to twist their arm because it's something cool. So yeah, we'll always try us.
I was going to say, music is in your soul. It's something you really enjoy doing. And doing these numbers of gigs, Is this something that you have made into a full-time job, or is this just a really fun hobby?
It's what I'd probably describe as a full-time hobby, I think.
Okay. By the sounds of it, I agree.
Yeah, it really is in the realms of full-time hobby at this point. I say, because it's not just the 68 gigs a year. There's a lot of admin. There's a lot of social media we do. There's a lot of contacting venues and people and diaries and all that kind of stuff. And I do most of it, and Carly does a lot of it as well. So we're not fortunate enough to be able to do this full time. Because, like I say, whilst we play a lot of the songs from the big bands, we don't get paid the same as the big bands, which is a disgrace as far as I'm concerned. But there you go.
Which is why it's nice to have this tribute festival that you can have all these different types of genres. Now, I always ask my guests to pick out some of their favorite songs to play. And one of your songs that you wanted was from Oasis, Don't Look Back. Why do you like this song?
Well, like I say, it really was the soundtrack to my youth. So everybody in the 90s obviously knew it, and it's massive and everybody knows it. But I think the thing for me is when we started doing this 4 years ago and going out and playing all the pubs and clubs, you find that a lot of the people in there are 18, 19, 20 years old. So they were born in the early 2000s. They don't know any of this. And it's only when you realise, you know a good song at the time. Mm. But when 30 years later, you're in a club and there's 18-year-olds singing that song at the top of their voices. They know every single word. And you play the intro, the little intro lead guitar bit comes in, the drums kick in, the vocal kicks in, and they all go crazy. They love it. And you realise that's when you know that a song is an absolute banger.
Well, we're going to play this song right now. And while the song's playing, you're going to notice that we're going to disappear from the screen, Tony and I, so you can concentrate on the song. And Don't Look Back on Anger by Oasis.
But all the things that you've seen you say. At least not today.
Hi, this is Mike Reed. You're listening to Spectrum on Air. Tune in to the Heritage Chart on Sundays between 5 and 7.
I'm Mike Barry. I'm Bob Bluffield. I'm Alan Mallion. Together we are the Grumpy Old Men.
Every Saturday morning between 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock. Only on Spectrum on Air. Often controversial, sometimes fun, but never dull. The Grumpy Old Men bring you their slant on world events and current affairs. 8 to 10 Saturday mornings.
I really enjoy that song. I haven't heard that in a while. And, you know, sometimes those songs come back and they do trigger memories, which is what you were talking about before. Now, the people in your band, tell us a little bit more about them, because it sounds like you guys fit in so well with each other.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, it's sort of forming a band's a tricky one. You could get 5 really great musicians, put them in a room and they'd be okay, but it takes a long time. Anybody who's ever been in a band will tell you that. Anyone's in a cover band will tell you that. Any sort of band. Just because you can all play it at home doesn't mean you can all play it together. And
how did you find each other? Now you said that one of the persons there, Marty, you've probably known the longest. How did you meet the other people? Did you have auditions? Did they just come by word of mouth? How did you guys get together?
Well, there was kind of a group of blokes already sort of playing who needed a singer, and I sort of went along and started singing. Then they needed a guitarist, and Marty came along and started playing guitar. And then we decided to sort of change it up a bit. So there was someone we knew played bass, and then we advertised for a drummer, and then I got my other mate in to play the guitar. So we were kind of up together then. So that was 5 of us. That was great. We'd say we played a fair few gigs. One of the guitarists left, and then we got Rich in. And I think the 5 of us played a lot of gigs right up until I think early 2024. So our drummer left. So we needed a new drummer, and it's weird when you try and get in a new band member when you play as many gigs as we do, because you can advertise, and you know the best drummer in the world could message us and say, "Oh, I'll come and do it." But the first question we have to ask is, "Can you play 68 gigs a year?" Because you know, if you could be the best drummer in the world, if you can only play 20 of them, it's of no use to us. So, kind of, it whittles out a lot of people to be able to go, you know, can you do this many gigs? And we got really lucky with Dow, our drummer. So I think he's the only one of us who can actually claim to have been a bona fide musician, or what I'd call a proper musician, because I think so he's from Ireland, and in his early 20s, maybe late teens, he played drums in a band that was signed to Geffen Records. So he's toured the world. He supported Guns N' Roses. I think he was on the same label as Guns N' Roses. Literally has toured the world, Japan, Europe, America, everywhere. But again, being older now, I think his touring days are long gone behind him. But we've got one of the best drummers out there who's been there, done it, and he's phenomenal. And he just drives the whole sound. And then sort of a few months later, our bass player left. So again, we got Martin in, who has been probably 40 years playing bass guitar.
Okay.
Can play anything. As long as he knows what key it's in, it's fine. It's just, just tell him what key it's in, and he's phenomenal. And him and Dow sort of gelled together really well. So the sound that sort of drives in the background.
I'm so impressed with people that can do that. Like people that just can pick up languages and they pick up music and they can just run with it.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. I mean, I'm no great musician. I play a bit of guitar in the band. I strum an acoustic guitar every now and then, but I'm really I'm really fortunate to be able to. There's an interesting thing as a lead singer. Because you're facing the audience and kind of everything's going on behind you. You need to have absolute confidence in what's going on behind you, and know that it's not going to go wrong. They're not going to be in the wrong place. That you can because then you can just concentrate on the crowd, the singing, and I've got absolute confidence in what goes on behind me. And it probably takes, every time we replace a band member, it probably takes 10, 15 gigs to really get it together. Once you've maybe done a month's worth of practices to get it all up together. So they know all the songs, and then they come in, and it probably takes 10, 15 gigs before everything really starts coming together. But so the current, so the last person in was Martin, and that was summer last year. So we're absolutely rock solid now.
Now, you're talking about the people on stage, the people that the audience see.
Yep.
But as you mentioned earlier, there's also people that make you look good on stage. You want to tell us a little bit about the unsung heroes, shall we say?
Yeah, I mean, say we're playing the instruments. We're up there. We can't hear what anybody else hears. And we have Carly, who basically sits out the front the entire gig. We get there to sound check. She gets all the levels right. She gets everybody right. People have got in-ear monitors going on. There's all this technical stuff all going on, which she's sat there out the front sorting out for everybody. And it doesn't just stop at a sound check. So the sound check gets your levels. Things change throughout the gig. So people will be waving at her the entire gig, going, "Oh, I need more vocal in my ear. We can have my guitar up, my guitar down, whatever." So we're basically having fun. And she's working continuously from the time we sound check till the last song. We're also lucky that we've got Martin's wife Donna is kind of managing to help Carly out now, because it's not just the sound. There's quite a lot of moving parts in the band, and when you've got a big crowd as well, and we like to invite people up on stage. Happens a lot. We'll get somebody up to sing. And drunk people, whilst fun, are very unpredictable in a live music setting.
Been there, done that. I've heard about it. I haven't done it myself, but I've been there and they've had. Yeah.
We want everyone to have as much fun as possible. So we don't want to, everybody stand back, don't get involved. We want everybody involved, but it can take a bit of wrangling at times. And Donna's very useful for that. She's really good at talking to people, because people want to come up and talk to us. They want to come up to us and know where they can see us. They want to tell us stuff. So she's invaluable for that. And both her and Carly throughout the gig, a mic stand will fall over. One of them's picked it up. A barrier will fall over. Somebody's tripped over a monitor. Someone's kicked something over. There's all these things that just to happen all the time. And without the two girls out the front, we'd be in a bit of trouble, I think. So whilst everyone's watching us and having a great time, there's a huge amount of hard work going on from the girls in the background, which we love.
Now, Donna is Marty's wife.
Martin's
Charlie,
wife.
Did you pick her up in a street corner someplace? Who is she?
So Martin joined the band playing bass last summer. So so Donna sort of started coming along like you do, and luckily has as much availability as we do, which is very, very useful. So so she comes along. She's and she'll start. So she loads the gear in. She knows how to unpack the gear. So we have a huge amount of gear that takes.
Who's Carly?
So Carly's my partner.
Okay, that's why I said, did you just pick her up on a street corner because you referred to it, but I had no idea how she got involved with the band.
Well, Carly, I mean, poor old Carly, not entirely sure what happened. So, she came along. She came along to our first gig to watch. And, she watched a few gigs, and it became clear that it really does help a band who've got somebody out the front doing their sound. Because like I say, you can't hear on stage, and most bands will sit there with a mixing desk on stage and they'll be hearing themselves and they'll think, "Oh, we sound great." And then they'll be repeating the audience going, "I can't hear the vocal, I can't hear this." And somehow, and I'm not entirely sure she knows how, somehow she ended up becoming our sound engineer. With no pay. She doesn't get paid. We get paid. She doesn't. She does get paid in chocolate. She gets paid in quite a lot. She gets paid quite a lot of chocolate. So the boys do tend to turn up with varying different chocolate gifts for her every week, which she's very grateful for. But yeah, she just went from, oh, I'll come and watch you play, to now she's working harder. Now she's working harder than the rest of us.
Yeah. So have you ever, because you talked about different bands like Oasis and different ones, have you ever been like the initial band, the warm-up band for any major group?
Luckily we get to play, so festival seasons. It's a great opportunity for that. So a couple of years ago, we got to share the stage with Sophie Ellis-Bextor and Scouting for Girls. And then last year, Sister Sledge.
Wow.
Which was really good fun. That was at the Foodies festivals. I think three of those, we supported Sister Sledge for. And this year, I believe we're at the Gosport Waterfront Festival in July on the stage with Odyssey. Use It Up, Wear It Out, all that, which is very, very exciting because you know full well they are going to be so good. So I think when we finish our set, I will be doing my best to hang around backstage for as long as I possibly can for that one. That will be great.
Wow, that is really cool. Now, you talk about all the different gigs that you have. Do you guys ever say, okay, we're going to take 2 weeks off, or do you just take time off when you can get it?
Yeah, I think it's like I say, I kind of have to get everybody's availability well in advance because it won't work otherwise. So it's really weird to sort of turn around to people and go, in 18 months' time, are you on holiday? But we've kind of got to do it like that. So I just get everybody's dates in. And it normally works around there's kids' birthdays and stuff. And they go, I can't do that weekend, can't do that weekend. And we all
New Year's Eve. Do you ever play New Year's Eve parties?
Oh, always. We love a New Year's Eve party.
Yeah,
we love a New Year's Eve party. They are great. We did the Two Brothers last year in Town Hill. We're doing the Two Brothers again this year. I'm literally just in the process of booking New Year's Eve 2026, so next year's New Year's Eve. They're great fun. Obviously, everybody's very, very drunk and always up for a party, which is great. We play. It's a long night, that one, so we tend to start about 8:30, 9 o'clock, and then get off stage about 12:30 for those ones. So you're playing sort of 50 odd songs by the end of the night. But yeah, we absolutely love it on New Year's Eve. Yeah, the only one we don't do is Christmas Eve. So we get offered Christmas Eve gigs every year, but Rich has 5 kids. There's 4 in my house. Marty has 2. And it's the one where we've always just gone, no, we're not doing Christmas Eve. Which is a shame in one way because that would be an awesome gig, but it's about the one line I think we've only ever drawn. The kids can have that one.
To be perfectly honest, it tells you what a type of person you are. As much as you enjoy your music, it's not to the exclusion of everything else in your life.
We've got to give them one day
really cool.
Yeah, we've got to give the kids one day a year.
Yeah. Well, we're almost 3/4 of the way through this interview, which is I'm going to talk to you later about some of the stuff that we're going to have to push off to another time. But there's another group that we're going to play. We're going to take a break. And because you said you like Blur.
Yes.
And Parklife.
Yes.
So tell me, anything particular that strikes this one, or are we just going to sit and listen to it?
Well, it's the absolute 90s party tune, this one. Again, we always play this in our set straight after Don't Look Back in Anger. So kind of Don't Look Back in Anger gets everybody singing, and they get to the end and everybody sings their hearts out, and then the opening guitar comes into Parklife and everyone just starts jumping. It's a party classic. We love it. I've never met anyone who doesn't love it. So it's great fun.
So we are going to be listening to Parklife.
Coincidence is a preference for the habitual voyeur of what is known as. A morning suit can be avoided if you take a route straight through what is known as. John's got brewer's fruit, he gets intimidated by the dirty pigeons. They love a bit of him. Who's that gut lord marching? You should cut down on your pork life, mate. Get some exercise. All the people, so many people, they all go hand in hand through their life. You know what I mean? I get up when I want, except on Wednesdays when I get rudely awakened by the dustman. I put my trousers on, have a cup of tea, and I think about leaving the house. I feed the pigeons, I sometimes feed the sparrows too. It gives me a sense of enormous well-being. And then I'm happy for the rest of the day, safe in the knowledge there will always be a bit of my heart devoted to it. All the people, so many people, and they all go hand in hand through their park life. It's got nothing to do with your four-sprung dirge technique, you know. And it's not about you joggers who go round, 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 round. All the people, so many people, and they all go hand in hand through their park life. All the people, so many people, and they all go hand in hand through their park life.
Welcome back, everyone. A little bit of blur. We're getting Tony back here, talking a little bit to Carly. Now, Tony, because you do all these types of gigs, gotta fix the camera a little bit. There we go. Love seeing your zipper, but it's better seeing your face. Do you go and do gigs all over the UK? Where do you primarily work from?
So we're mainly based out of, so three of us live sort of Southampton. One of the guys lives in Fareham, another one in Gosport. So we tend to stick to sort of Southampton, Gosport way, and then we do quite a lot in New Forest, which is great. Gigs take, they take a huge amount of time. So we're there 2 hours before a gig. It can take half an hour to get there. You're probably leaving at 6:30 in the evening, getting home at 1 o'clock in the morning. Traveling 100 miles is not really practical.
Especially doing as many as you do.
Yes.
I mean, I can't see you doing one down in Southampton and then going up to Scotland. That would be crazy.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's got, full-time jobs. So luckily we're all Monday to Friday, which is useful. But yeah, on a Friday evening, people are finishing work. So we're not getting any great distance anywhere. But we're more than busy enough covering Hampshire. We do, the odd festival. We travel last year we did Brighton, we did Guildford, we did, where else did we go? Oxford. So, festival season, we'll travel. We don't mind getting in the car and doing a big old round trip for a festival.
Now, you talked about you work a 9-to-5 job, Monday through Friday. What's your field? What do you do?
I'm a civil servant, which is probably the most rock and roll of jobs you can think of. We're well known for it.
Okay. I'm sorry. I just saw the movie Beetlejuice, and all the people that work are, doing the administration are all civil services that never made it. I'm sorry. I can't. I'm just. A funny thought just came to my mind. That's all I can say. Sorry, very unprofessional, but it just made me think about that. So, fortunately, because you do have your weekends relatively free, you also mentioned that you have children.
Yep.
What's the ages? Do they enjoy you? Do they come with you to some of the gigs or like the festivals? I would imagine not at night.
Yeah. So one of the good things about the evening ones is occasionally we do quite a few social clubs. So social clubs are good for the kids. So the kids like it when we play a social club. I think Marty's probably got the youngest, I think. So they love coming to it. Marty's nipper is an absolute little legend. He'll stand up on stage and play air guitar and stand in front of us dancing, and he's great value for money. Yeah. A lot of the social club gigs, but yeah, they pop along to the odd festival now and then. My boy, I can drag along to the odd one here and there. He likes wandering around backstage, and all that kind of thing. So, but generally, kids being kids, they're completely unimpressed with anything their parents do. We could play to 10,000 people, and they wouldn't look up from their phones. So.
I know the hardest people to impress is your children. Then they're done there.
Yeah, completely. And thing is about kids, we love playing the kids. Kids are great fun. Social clubs and the odd Sunday afternoon gig and stuff like that. The kids are wonderful. We'll get them up on stage. We'll give them a tambourine, stuff like that. They'll have I've sung songs holding kids in my arms and giving them the microphone and stuff like that. They are brilliant fun. So a good Sunday afternoon gig where you can get 3, 4, 5, 6-year-olds, all that kind of thing, up on stage with you is so much fun. We do love that.
Well, this is a little plug for Sham Rocks. The festival is purposely made for young people to come to, too. So it's a whole big family orientation to come there, because they do have some events for young people, and not to mention the young at heart, shall we say. But so you're going to be coming down there on Saturday. Do you have a specific time or whenever they can get you on the stage?
I think I've got to try and remember now. I think we're about 4:45, maybe, something like that, I think. Mm-hmm. Off the top of my head, I kind of lose track a little bit, but I think we're about then. But we'll be down there. To be honest, we'll be down there most of the day. It looks great, So sometimes when we travel, we'll get to a festival sort of half an hour before we're due on, and then have to leave quite quickly because we've got travelling to do. But Shamrocks, as far as I'm concerned, I'm making certainly the Saturday. I'll be there all day because the lineup's so good as well. I'm so looking forward to Queen.
Yeah, that's what you were saying. It's the band that's doing it. I think the band's called Flash.
Yes.
They've got also people that are doing like Madonna and Lady Gaga, and you're doing a whole smorgasbord. You've got a whole bunch of different songs from all different eras going on there. So that's going to be really cool.
We got the whole Britpop thing going on, and then there's a band called Majestics on as well who are doing songs from the noughties, and we've played a few festivals with them before. Mm-hmm. They are brilliant. They are so good. So they're going to be doing stuff from the noughties. So
not as good as you, obviously.
Obviously, well, I would. I'll let you say that. The good thing about it is I've literally got no idea what's in their set. So we were sat trying to guess the other day. So I'm fully expecting a bit of Mr. Brightside. I'm wanting a bit of Sex on Fire. There might be some Coldplay in there, maybe. Okay. Probably I'm going to go Arctic Monkeys at a push. Maybe I'd like a bit of Arctic Monkeys. I'd like to think it's in there. But I'm looking forward to that, mate. Same mainly because I don't know what is going to be in their set. So, but they're brilliant. They are so good. I would highly recommend anybody who gets to see them.
Now, I'm hearing from you that one of your favorite bands is Pink Floyd. You going to be playing a little bit of Pink Floyd on Saturday?
Unfortunately, I couldn't crowbar that into Britpop. But
I was hoping.
Oh, no. So we do. So we play. What songs? We play Another Brick in the Wall in our normal set. We play Comfortably Numb in our normal set. And they always go. Comfortably Numb is one of those songs where you kind of look out to the crowd and there'll be there'll be a certain amount of people who know every single word and can pretty much sing the guitar solos, and they're transfixed. It's the only, to be honest, it's the only song we ever play where, and it happens quite regularly, people walk up to the stage afterwards and shake Rich's hand when he plays the guitar solo, and it never happens on any other song. Just that one, because he absolutely nails it, and it's one of those songs again that people fall in love with. That it will be on the list of a lot of people's favorite ever songs. So, and a lot of bands don't do it because it's quite big. There's quite a lot going on. The guitar solo is not easy. It's very difficult to make it sound good. So people get quite excited when nobody's dancing to it. It's not it's not 500 miles. It's not Park Life.
Yeah.
But it's for those, it's in the set for those people that love it, and there's a lot of them out there.
Now, festivals, they can be really iffy. I just told you when we were having that little bit of a break that the first festival I ever participated in was at Woodstock in '69. That gives you my age. And it also was only about 25 miles away from my house. And shall we always talk about the rain, the nemesis of festivals? Have you ever played any festivals in the rain?
Oh, yes. I think, to be honest, one of the first big festivals we ever did, which was the Foodies Festival in Winchester, we played the Friday. And we were getting wet on stage. It was sideways. It was absolutely horrific. And kind of the field ended up, it was so bad, the field kind of ended up almost empty because everyone was kind of like sheltering to the sides in the tents and stuff like that. But to be honest, we've got really lucky. I think we got rained on once last year in all the festivals we did.
Mm-hmm.
But it's never. We're British. It's never a problem. If if there's one thing we can do, it's stand in the rain. Everybody's seen enough Glastonbury's to see people wading through the mud. You don't get to a headline slot at Glastonbury in the rain and see the field empty. Everyone's just there getting wet.
Mm-hmm.
We can do that. So, say we've got 9 festivals this year. It will rain for a few of them, but we'll put our waterproofs on, we'll sit there, we'll get wet, and we'll have a sing and a dance. It's what we do.
Well, one good thing about it is even if you get wet, it's not cold. You're not talking about rain in January, So.
Nobody needs January rain to be standing outside.
Yeah, so that's got it. Once again, if we want to get in touch with you, somebody wants to book you or see if you're available any day but Christmas Eve.
Any day but Christmas
Eve. How can they get a hold of you?
So you can get us on the website, which is www.the45srockband.co.uk. Facebook is always good, which is the 45s Rock Covers, and say we're the ones with the gold round logo with a picture of me and the rest of the band on the front. We're quite easy to spot. There's a WhatsApp there, there's an email there. Anyway, go. I was going to say, even if it looks like we're booked up or something, if you've got something fun, you've got something interesting, we always like to keep back a couple of sneaky dates. So we do actually have, believe it or not, so we got 68 gigs, we're sold out essentially, but we do have a couple of dates in August that we don't book. We just leave them sat there. We don't go out and book it. We don't book a pub. We don't book a club. We just leave it sat there. So it gets nearer the time for somebody who's got something interesting. So if you've got a wedding, a party, a festival, anything interesting you can tempt us with, give us a shout. You never know. You might get lucky. We might be free. We don't like turning stuff down.
I'm thinking that maybe somebody in your group, probably if you slip them some really good chocolate, might influence you a little bit, right? What do you think?
It's quite often there's chocolate involved in the bribing of, can we get one more gigging? Can we just get one more?
Yes, you can.
And yeah, there's a lot of chocolate involved in that, and a lot of well, if we do this, we'll do that. So there's a bit of a barter system going on for whether we can sneak in another gig here and there. But always try us. You never know. You might be able to tempt us. We don't like doing it. We turn down. I get party people every week message me, can you come and play our party? It's in a month's time, so I'm really sorry we can't do it. So we don't like doing it, but we're booked. But there's the odd date here and there that we'll squeeze in if you can tempt us.
Now, we're getting really, really close. I'm going to be playing our last song in about a second as we leave here. You are being recorded. You are also live on YouTube. So I can ask you this question, and your answer is going to be forever. Tony, can I have you back on the show again? I love talking to you, and there's so much more to talk about. Probably 6 months from now, maybe during the winter time when you're a little bit on the, chill out time. But I'd love to have you back on the show again. Would you come back on again?
Of course, I'd love to. 6 months would be great. We can tell you about all the fun we had at the festivals all summer.
That works for me. Tony, it's fantastic having you on the air. Loved it. Looking forward to having you come down to Shamrocks, which is going to be on May 10th and 11th.
Yep.
It's an all-day event. You are going to be on Saturday, you and your band, and might end up meeting maybe the people behind the scenes. I'll bring some chocolate. Yeah,
bring chocolate.
I'm never going to forget that because this is a woman after my own heart.
If you turn up and you like us, bring chocolate.
I will. So the last song we're going to play as we finish up today is by Pulp, Disco 2000. Once again.
Yeah, we love this song.
Any particular reason of this song like any other song?
We love Pulp was a tricky one to pick a song from. They're just wonderful. I think I've always said if you're going to pick three Britpop bands, it's Oasis, Blur, and Pulp. So when we do play Shamrocks, we have songs by Oasis, Blur, and Pulp. And there was a couple to choose from. It was either Common People or Disco 2000. And when we do play live, I always find that Disco 2000 is being, it's Disco 2000. It's party time. Everybody sings to it. Everybody dances to it. It's got that lovely driving guitar riff behind it. It's great. We love it. Every time we play it, people love it. So enjoy.
Thank you, Tony, for being on this show. I know you've got a very busy life, and I really do appreciate it. And now we're going to play Pulp in Disco 2000.
Sister and brother, your name is Deborah. It never suited you. And they said that when we grew up, we'd get married and never split up. Oh, we never did it. Although I often thought of it. Oh, Deborah, do you recall? Your house was very small, with wood chip on the wall. When I came round